Welcome everybody to Ignite Humanity Live. I'm your host, Lady JB, and I'm so happy you are here because it's Monday. That means it's marvelous and it's all about making memories. Today, we're going to be talking about ways for you to create ideas, suggestions, and memories in your life because those memories are going to become your stories, and those stories are what we call Ignite moments. You know that if you're going to ignite humanity, we've got to come together, we've got to make a difference, and we've got to impact each other. And the way we do that is through powerful storytelling. Every single person on the planet has an Ignite moment, and that Ignite moment is a memory in their life that they can use to help you move forward in your life. Ideas, suggestions, tips, wisdom, and all kinds of wellness for you to feel more connected to them, more connected to yourself. And you know what that creates? The ripple effect of igniting humanity. Each and every one of us start with ourselves and then work outward to show and prove and be a leader in other people's lives, that if we can do it, they can do it too. And that's what's going to ignite humanity. We all need to come together to make an impact, to make a difference, and to care about one another. And that's why I do this show. I want to share with you that on Monday today, we're going to be talking about ideas, and we have a great guest that is really going to share some wonderful mindset tips. So get your pen and paper out because you're going to learn some great things from our fabulous guest as we talk about ideas and suggestions on how you can improve your life that in turn will improve and ignite humanity. But before we do that, let's just remind you, if you want to watch this show and any other episodes that we're doing at Ignite Humanity Live, jump on over to our website at ignitehumanity.live /watch, and you can see all of the episodes and get a recording of today's show because I promise you it's going to be fantastic. Now, if you want to know what we're up to, go to our website, ignitehumanity.live, because we are talking igniting humanity with books and movies and docuseries and all the fun stuff that we do to inspire you and inspire others. So jump on over there and see what we're up to. All right, nestle in because we're going to be talking to a great guest, Michael Calhoun. He is a fabulous, fabulous founder and CEO of Board of Advisors, the world's largest, greatest community for founders, entrepreneurs, CEO, investors, marketeers, e-commerce moguls, business developers, and high-level decision makers. Mike has over 27 years of consecutive entrepreneurial ownership experience. He's also an advisor, owner, and investor in multiple companies and brands within Board of Advisors. He established this global community of widely successful entrepreneurs to work together with the mindset of contributing to each other by doing three things: solving problems, sharing strategies, and shortening the path. We're so happy to have him here. Mike, welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh, this is going to be an amazing session. I can tell already. Lady
Buckle up
JB
because we're going to have
Owen.
some fun.
Yes, we are. I was wondering what is the topic when I got up this morning, and when you said we're going to be discussing ideas, I thought there's nothing better. That's perfect.
Yeah, because really, ideas for me are like a life force. When an idea comes to you, it comes to you for a reason. It chose you, it believes in you, it feels that you are the person to bring that idea forward. You are a man of ideas. You come up with lots of incredible things. Tell us a little bit about your fabulous idea that you're doing right now with Board of Advisors.
Well, I'll give you two things. I was just at a dinner over the weekend with a gentleman that's doing quite a bit of development innovation with uh, real estate and Amazon, and he's sitting at the table. Here's the power of an idea. He's sitting at the table. Obviously, people are having conversations, and he leans back and he says, "I have an idea." And all of a sudden, it's like silence. So everybody wants to know what is the idea? What is in this gentleman's mind? I think that phrase and the whole concept of having an idea is probably one of the most attractive conversations that you could possibly have. The idea of Board of Advisors, quite frankly, was in the very beginning building an A team, building a network around, like the bio says, about 26, 27 years of just Herculean effort in business development, software. A lot of what we were doing is in the online or real estate space. But the A team aspect of just cherry picking, the idea of going back and saying, I really loved working with this gentleman, this founder, this creator, that innovator, that tech provider, and what would it look like? With an idea, you don't always have to have the end, right, totally clear. Sometimes it's just about, as you say, igniting the beginning or starting
Hmm.
beginning and letting it evolve. And the idea with BA is, how do we start a conversation with great founders and let that evolve and see where does that go, right? As kind of a platform and an orchestrator of those conversations, but also giving them free reign to take their own path, if you will.
Do you find, I mean, you've been so blessed to work with some of the best people in the business. Do you find that when someone like the gentleman you were describing has an idea, that there's certain qualities that that person has to take that idea to the next level?
Well, this gentleman specifically, very, very successful, several different ventures, and many times not even in the same or even complementary verticals. I mean, going from anti-aging to large scale real estate to different tech platforms to coffee. And what I found is it's more about the people, right? The idea leads to the involvement of the right people, and I think that was really one of the driving motivators of even the purpose of the dinner that evening, was to discuss an idea and look at involvement, right? So a real innovator, I believe, has great ideas, but he also, or she also, would be bringing innovation or leaders into that conversation, because at the end of the day, the fact of the matter is there's only so much time, and we
Mm.
single-handedly can only do so much, which is why I think what you have here is so beautiful. You've created a platform, you've created conversation, and the igniting of just thought, right? A lot of the best ideas begin in the mind first.
It's so true. And before the show, you and I were talking about mindset. For people who are at home and they're listening, they're like, Mike, I have an idea, but they don't know what to do with it, or they're not sure. I mean, folks, I had an idea to do the show, and you just got to like put one foot in front of the other and you got to go out and do it. That's my strategy. Mike, do you have a strategy you can share with our listeners? If they have this idea and they have some passion behind it, what would you say are some of the next steps that they might want to take?
It's actually very simple. I mean, very simple. Everybody likes to say, take action, take action, take action. That's great, but it's a little generic. The specificity to that is, put it on the calendar. As soon as it's on the calendar, it becomes real. And if we just look at BA, I'm not just making that up or just saying that. You know, I danced around with the idea of board of advisors for about a year and a half, through the encouragement of one of my clients. And until I put it on the calendar, it never became real, because the calendar creates pressure on an upcoming event that tends to crystallize your thought process, your timing, and your team that you're rallying around it, whether it's you yourself and I, which is, maybe the beginning of the team, or if it is involving others. That calendar appointment, just like our calendar appointment today, created um, what I call healthy pressure of making something happen.
Yeah, and momentum, right? Like you see it on the calendar and you're like, okay, I have to do XYZ to show up to the show today, or I have to do XYZ to get my business going. If I have it on the calendar, you're right. It's a really good point, because then it puts some pressure slash force slash incentive. Is I'm going to make my date and I'm going to make sure that I have the things ready for this date on the calendar. Great, great advice. You've been an inspiration to me. We've chatted a few times. You've given me lots of ideas. Do you feel that collaboration and connectedness is the new currency of success?
I I would agree with that. Collaboration is definitely a currency, or a it's fertile ground. Conversation is fertile ground for success, because the articulation of the idea forces you to form words around it. And as you can see certain things in your mind very clearly, but as you begin to form words around it, you start to hear it, feel it, and you almost have this self discovery of, that's not, sometimes, oh, that seemed great in my mind, but it doesn't seem great when I talk about it, right? But also the feedback aspect of others hearing it and them asking you questions. And now there's this tennis match that is going back and forth, beginning to kind of carve against the idea and whittle it down to, is it viable? Is it doable? And the interesting part is many times sharing that idea, watching others begin to, as you say, ignite or begin to understand and then want to get involved. Oh, that's a great idea. Here's what we could do. So, it's almost, well, it is absolutely required to get the idea out of your head, through your mouth, and into conversation where others may rally around that. And you may find the involvement of others and enthusiasm of others giving you back more enthusiasm for your idea.
Yeah, it's so true. One of my other favorite words around idea is possibilities. I'm a big proponent of possibilities. I think anything and everything is possible. One of the principles, and actually the number one principle of Igniting Humanity that we formulated, is raising the consciousness of what is possible. Imagine if every person on the planet was living in the center of what they believed was possible for them. Their idea was possible, their visions were possible, their dreams were possible. Do you have an affinity to the word possible and possibilities?
I don't know. Did you look at our branding? I think is this a setup? Are you setting me up? Because we have an entire seal that says
No, all
anything.
intuitive. Just,
This is amazing. Yeah. So when you walk in or you go to the website or you're receiving emails or anything from Board of Advisors, there is a seal that we created that says anything is possible. So AIP are the acronyms, and then it wraps anything is possible around it. Because quite frankly, mindset and spirit of solution from people that have real competency, that actually care about each other, anything is possible. You look at what Elon Musk has recently done with putting, the rocket blew up, but if you looked at his response, he says, what a beautiful $1 billion way to learn. We learned so much,
Mhm.
and it's that constant spirit of moving forward, right? Everything contributes to the lesson so that you can move forward better or together, right?
Yeah, truly well said. And I know that on a, very individual level, many of us go through challenges and difficulties because it is the chrysalis into what is possible. It forces us to move. It helps us search out other solutions when we're in the muck to decide what is now possible for us. Let me ask you, was there a time you were in the muck? Was there a time when things were struggling? Was there something that crystallized for you to decide, hey, this is what I want to do, and this is how I'm going to ignite humanity?
I think as humans, there's an aspect of being in the muck on a daily basis, especially when you're doing anything of magnitude or substance. So, was there a point that I was in the muck? The answer is absolutely every single day, every
Well
weekend,
said.
every day. But there's also the aspect of what ideas are going to solve those challenges? What individuals are we going to enroll? Being at the front of a spearhead as a founder or CEO, your role really is the innovator, the idea person, but also kind of the rally. You're responsible for the rally to get the right people involved. I think being in the muck is actually a good thing because it continues to make you better. A lot of people think, oh, I had a tough day, or oh, I've got a big problem, or oh, there's so much pain that I'm going through in life. And I think it's more about a mindset of that pain or that muck or that challenge is your direct opportunity at the moment to do something great. If everything was hunky dory or fine and cushy, there's absolutely no opportunity to do something great because there's no pressure. So I think the muck is good.
Hmm.
I also think polishing your skill to work out of the muck or provide a solution or come up with a great idea. Most of all of this is done in the mind. It
Mm.
happens in the mind before it happens in the real world. And that's something that anyone can do. You can be literally in any position right now with anyone, anywhere in the world. You can have a great idea and it change your life and your outlook immediately.
It's so true. I often say, like, it's just like flicking a switch. Like, 1 minute the light is off, you flick the switch, the light is on. Like, that is how fast you can make change in your life. That is how quickly you can create inspiration in yourself and others. Well, I'd love to hear about people's ignite moments because there's something that happened in your life that made you decide that you wanted this to become your mission. Can you recall a time and you had that epiphany, that ignite moment?
Absolutely. So there's so many. I think a good one is when you have in my world, it's always about creating a business and creating a brand and a product or a service. Like that's just kind of my world, right? So let's just say I did have a platform. It was a software platform, world's first web-based, user-based version of a short sale processing engine, and we went literally from start to the moon very quickly. As a young late 20s individual sitting out in Silicon Valley and with SAP and Oracle and having big conversations that I was nowhere near qualified for, I'm just doing Herculean effort and one step in front of the other. And it was a great ride, but it also was a huge loss in the end because there's a competitor. When you're in that world, there's always competition. You may have something great, but a competitor steps in, kind of does something similar to what we're doing, but gives it away for free,
Mm.
right? They're so big, they're looking for the data. They don't need the actual customer. They're looking for the engagement factor. They're looking for critical mass. They're looking for volume. When we were looking for the transaction to use the technology, and you go from nothing to the moon and then back to nothing again. That's a hard pill to swallow, and you wonder how did that happen. But in life you have to realize always prepare to meet opportunity, always
Mm.
prepare to meet chaos, always know that something is coming next and to be ready for it, so that when it happens, something like that company having to set it down, I parlayed that into a relationship with Adobe. What we did, I sat back. I actually remember very specifically sitting. It was the weekend. I went to the beach by myself and just thought. And I realized what we had learned how to do with that company was sell software. Regardless of what it was, we learned how to sell software. So I was introduced to president of business development over at Adobe. And the main thing that I postured him with is they had a platform, they wanted to partner, but the only thing that really mattered is we knew how to sell software. Nothing else mattered. So the one thing that came out of that entire venture landed us a 14-year relationship with Adobe, and we went all across US, all across Australia, and rolled the team over into something that, quite frankly, was less of a headache and allowed us to focus on our core genius. So, you know, it's okay. I would say expect to have that challenge, expect to meet that opportunity, but also treat it with focus and understand what did you gain from it, because usually that's what's going to make you great in what is next, because there's always something next.
You said so many good things in there. Like, one, I love that you said, first of all, that you spend some time with yourself and you just went to the beach and you were quiet. And I love that you said, I remember the exact weekend, because that's the power of an ignite moment. It's so entrenched in us because it's like this pivotal, this decision making, this crossroads, this opportunity. And in that moment, you parlayed it into something wonderful. So folks, I really want you to grasp that sometimes when it looks one way, it actually is the beginning of something else. But Mike, you also said how that you found opportunity. And I think many people nowadays are finding or feeling a sense of lack of opportunities because they're feeling the pressure of the outside world. And I'd really love for us to speak to the heart of the person right now who feels like I want to pivot, I want to shift, I want to create a new opportunity. In your words of wisdom, because I know how wise you are and brilliant, is there something you could say to somebody who was maybe you at that young 20-year-old that you could really help parlay them into the next version of themselves?
Yes, there's a couple things. First off, you have to make a commitment to yourself to not be lazy. A lot of people like to have a lot of great ideas, and they like to, there's one thing about an idea, you think about it too long, it just becomes a dream, and not doing anything with it. You have to do something. So the first step is get to work. Put it on the calendar and then start doing. Here's what happens when you start doing. You start making mistakes, but then who cares? Who cares? The mistakes show you what maybe the wrong activity or wrong direction or wrong action is, and you begin to know what is right. So the first step is get it on the calendar, start doing, start the work, and start asking questions. You are the sum of the 5 people that you hang around. I would actually say start taking some inventory. We want to talk about some I words, ideas and inventory. Where is your time going? Who are you investing your time with? And if you have a great idea, is there anyone that you are in proximity with that does anything in that realm? So let's just say you wanted to start a makeup company, right? Okay. Is there anyone in your world that has any influence there or is selling anything on Amazon? I mean, like, begin to take inventory of your network and then begin to associate your conversations with the ones that get you closer, because the genuine desire from a human being is to help. Like when we spoke, I mean, I want to help you, you want to help me. The genuine desire of a human being is to help another human being. That is, we did a survey a long time ago. The number one answer is, if I could just help. That's what gives me the most gratitude, or that's what gives me the most fulfillment. So beginning to take inventory and beginning to plot dates on the calendar and create conversations around your idea and begin creating conversations around your activity, it's not that hard. I mean, it's literally a decision. That's what happened when I went to the beach. I made a decision. I needed a moment out of the mental chaos, out of all of the activity that was going on a daily basis, just to get clear so that you can make a decision. Then once you've made the decision, I'm going to create this makeup company, then you start having the right conversations. You start looking up the right guidance online. You start asking maybe Chat GPT, what's the best way to do that? And then you start understanding, I don't even need makeup. Right? Somebody else is making makeup. You know what I need? I need a great brand. Like Ignite Humanity is a great brand. Maybe I have an idea for a great makeup brand where I put that label on something that already exists. And now it's about sharing my brand and sharing my message and sharing my purpose. Maybe, you have acne, and, there was a certain type of,
See how his ideas are flowing? See how his ideas are just
We're going to make a
flowing?
company right here on the show.
Right,
Before we know it, we're going to be selling
People
makeup
are taking
right here.
notes. They're like writing things down. You
But
are
anything is
so
possible.
helpful.
I love to see young
helpful
people.
and so amazing. I appreciate it so much. How can people find you if they want some help and they want some new ideas? We'll put your website up on the screen. Let us know how people can find you. boardofadvisors.com. Any last words you would love to share? Because I know people were already like, wow, he was just unfolding some great ideas right before my very eyes. But it just goes to show you folks, you can, if you just decide that you want to create an idea, manifest something new, you can do it with so many people. Mike's here to help you. I'm here to help you. Mike, we so appreciate you being on the show. Maybe let me ask you this. What's the one word you think is going to ignite humanity?
Oh my gosh, that is a great question. There's so many words out there. The one word that would ignite humanity, it goes back to love. You have to love what you're doing. You want to love what you're doing, even if at the time it seems difficult. You want to love the people that you're around. I think all good things come from love, right? They come from love. It comes from accepting the other person, looking for the gold in the other person. When you come from love and you expand the gold in another person, or the good, the great, the best attributes, it tends to overwhelm what maybe is a negative, right? And as you begin to build others up, there becomes an affinity and a loyalty back to you. And again, now you're creating, it comes back to creating your network and your army of individuals that are on your side that you get to share more great ideas with.
Well, I love that answer, and I love having you on the show. Thank you so much for being here. I will share with our viewers that you're going to be on my other show on Thursday, sharing some legacy tools and tips. Mike, thanks so much for being on the show. So blessed to you, and great ideas throughout the episode. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lady J.B. Owen. It was a pleasure.
Well, folks, as you can see, ideas were abound today. There were so many great things here, and Mike was full of suggestions and inspiration and helping you create a mindset that will allow you to do the kinds of things in your life that really ignite your passion and ignite your own direction of the ways that you can touch humanity in your own unique way. Well, if you want to watch this episode again, as I shared at the top of the show, go to our website. All of our episodes are absolutely free. We make them free to you because we want you to have the tools you need completely with no cost so that you can go out and do something to ignite humanity. We also want to share that we are igniting literacy through our donations and our building of schools. If you'd like to be a part of that, we would love to have you share. Every single dollar that you donate buys a brick in one of our schools that we're building in third world countries to ignite the lives of children, and we would love your support. Now, there are all kinds of fun things happening, including Mike being a guest on my other show, The Legacy Lounge with Lady JB. We are talking about legacy and legends and the power of building a legacy. We do that every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Eastern, live on this station. And we'd love to have you join us because Mike is going to give us some more tools and strategies about how to build a legacy and how to create that kind of thing that you leave behind for generations to come so that you're truly making an impact on humanity and doing what you can do to play your part and inspire others. Well, we love, love, love having people on the show. So if you'd like to be a guest, please reach out to us at ignitehumanity.life/share. And we want to hear what you're up to and how you're igniting humanity, how you're making a big impact. And if it's not you and someone you know, go fill out the type form and let us know, and we'll reach out to them, because the whole reason we do this show is to show the diversity and the absolute empowerment that people are bringing around the globe. So many people are doing things to ignite humanity. You may not know about it, and that's why we bring them on the show. All right, well, big blessings to you. I hope you're going to have a fabulous and marvelous Monday. Go out and make some memories, ignite your life, fill your heart with ideas, and decide that today is the day you're going to put it on the calendar and you're going to make an impact and you're going to do something with your idea so that you can not only enrich your life, but enrich the lives of others. All right, big hugs and kisses. Blessings to you. We'll see you tomorrow.
Now, more than ever, we need to come together to connect with one another. We need to feel the truth in who we are and let go of everything that's happened in the past. We need to empower every person on the planet and awaken hearts, enliven souls, come together, laugh, play, rejoice, connect, create, and love. It's time to ignite humanity. We want you to be a part of something that will impact the future for everyone. We want you to tell your story, share your Ignite moment, show people who you truly are. Be a part of igniting humanity and making a difference in the world and all of our futures.